to see it anyway. Show me the art. And I can give you the backstory on our character and the interactions and all that. Let's continue. Let's take a look. Yes. It's a good thing to order. I too would like to order a spicy armful of or some say cosum. Death glare. Death glare. We are playing as Hein Kariz, who is joined with the ever-lovely Verse. Verse is a member of an organization called the Scarlet Chorus. In the Scarlet Chorus, the way they do war is they essentially bum rush their target, and then whoever doesn't die, they proceed to, well, they basically recruit them. Whoever lives. So we have to go to Echo Call Crossing to look for some missing iron. And then we have to speak with the 5th Eye at the Scarlet Chorus camp. And here, I'll have the complete quest. So, and we have to go to speak to the Iron Marshal at the Disfavored camp. So, nothing there. Man, I'm just way stronger than her. That's nuts. I like it though. We're off. And we're off! Stealthy, sneaky. Gotta be sneaky. Gotta be quick. Don't call the impact, push back with your shield, take the momentum. Iron Marshal Enrio's field commander, the Disfavored, pounds her fist into the air as she calls out to the warriors on the training field. Set eyes on your opponent's waistline. If you spend more than a glance checking his footwork, you've lost. This favorite officer turns to you, adjusting her pale golden surcoat. Judging from her uniform, this is the Iron Marshal Enios, first among the equals in the Iron Guard, Graven Ash's inner circle of trusted followers, charged with being in duties of leadership, logistics, and training. There's rarely a quiet day for the second command of this favorite legion. As she clears her throat, this is very D&D-like, by the way, Munbun. Need to stay on top of troops, or their skills will rust. It's good for their, it's for their own good, even if they don't believe it. It was mentioned that you're short on warriors and need help. What's the situation? I have brigades amassing along Placid, Echo Call, and Little Tooth crossings. The Vendrian Guard may be able to hold one bridge, but they cannot hold up against a concentrated three-pronged attack. I have no right to give you orders. Her words falter, a short cough breaking her flow. But we'll all die to Couch's edict should we fail, so I'm not about to let my pride blind me to the value of good help. This is the second major attack on the river. What happened last time? Defeat in detail. We carved a bloody path up the river, but at that point, everyone who charged ahead was lost. We had no course backup. It was just a few disfavored squads. I can't tell you exactly how we were defeated, but we lost the whole assault team. She shakes her head, letting out a long, pained sigh. We found bodies washing up in the river for days. It's not often the Tearsmen put up such a good fight. It certainly made us reevaluate the number that we need to take this valley. Interesting. Really? Are you sure our scouts didn't give you all sorts of details about the enemy and you chose to disregard their warnings? Lose minor loyalty. Sounds like your lack of caution is to blame, not the Scarlet Chorus. I believe that's a solid point. Or I can just be straight to the point. You can pass blame after the war. Only the Oathbreakers matter now. Quite right. Getting our emotions into the mix won't hasten the campaign. I will assist. Then our plan just might work. The Iron Marshal lifts her gauntlet close to her face, shifting her eyes from you and the metal articulations. We are loath to work with those who do not share our training, our values, but we know that Tunon, the adjudicator, selects only the most capable minds for his court, and I trust that you will honor us all in the field. Antiana will be leading the charge at Echo Call Crossing, assisting you will be Barrack of the Stone Shields. She points to the heavily armored, I guess this guy, heavily armored soldiers staying sentry at the edge of the training field. Before you ask, no, the Warforged or the Forgebound weren't sloshed on Dappleseed when they fitted his armor. He survived the full force of the Edict of Storms. And this armor doesn't exactly come off. Tactically, he's quite brilliant, but otherwise it's something of a curse. Tapping her helmet twice, Enrio signals to the hulking presence, Barrack, come meet the Fatebinder. The soldier that steps to you better resembles an amalgamation of rusted blades and mismatched pieces of armor fused into a vaguely human shape. He reeks of sweat, feces, and whatever oil treatment keeps him flexible.
Fatebinder, the Iron Marshal has tasked me with keeping you alive, and I have no intention of disappointing her. That should be enough assurance for anyone.
That's a very familiar voice. An honor.
Likewise, good Binder.
The soldier heaves a heavy iron arm into a salute, his whole body clang as he wraps his gauntlet against the twisted sheets of metal that form his breastplate.
Barrack, is that you under there? I had no idea you were in Vendrian's well. Fatebinder, do you know this walking anchor?
I encountered Barrack in the Stalwart campaign, though he appears to have changed. She's an excellent soldier.
You're generous to say so. I'm afraid I left the better part of myself on the killing fields of Stalwart, but it's still in my pride and honor to serve the Legion.
His voice falters. You can't tell if it's hesitation or regret that stalls him. The Fatebinder will be joining us for the push across the river. I figured an extra hand might help, and more importantly, if my worries come true and the Chorus tries to impede the mission, then we'll have an absorber from the court on our side.
Better to work with the Honorable Binder than some Chorus children.
He nods to you, his armor creaking as he bends his neck. Hopefully this is amusing to you, Munbun. I know that RPGs aren't really everyone's spice of life. I asked that Barrack accompany you there to arbitrate the cooperation between his company and the Scarlet Chorus. Echo Call Crossing is now unlocked on the world map. Barrack, you've been without a cohort since the last Battle of Stalwart. It's time that we gave you a task more worthy than hauling wagons and leading assault training drills. She plants her hands on her hips and speaks in clipped official terms. Ash has assigned you to the Fatebinder's service. You are to assume this task is ongoing until we find a more permanent spot for you, which could very well mean the swiftly approaching end of this war, or when the Fatebinder dismisses you. Is that understood? I'm very speepy. This is interesting. Oh, good. Barrack regards the Iron Marshal in an oppressive silence. As an order, Barrack. She shakes her head and sighs, returning her focus to you. He can be as stubborn as pulling a spire out of the earth, but he's a good soldier. I hope you don't mind the company. I'm honored to have a member of the Iron Legion at my side. Excellent. I look forward to your success in the field. Welcome to the team, Barrack. Let's take a look at this fella. Alright, so he uses a shield and sword, as tanks are wont to do. Wow, he's literally made up of broken blades and other armor. Interesting. Fused iron. Let's see what he's got going on. I like his face. Good face. Strong. We're gonna make him the tank. Welcome to the team, Barrack. I'll use you well in the days ahead. In that case, I'm gonna make her my ranged. So let's customize their Oh boy. Hold up. I'll figure this out. I promise. I forgot. Alright, I'm looking for the AI. Yes. I want her to be an archer. Verse will attempt to fight conservatively at a safe distance. She will prioritize targets with her bow and attacks when possible. Canvas Splitter, Hobbled Prey, and Skull Splitter and Burned Iron are used on targets whenever effective. If she's in danger, she will attempt to use her Unbound ability and escape. Attack anyone who attacks a member will not seek out targets unless provoked. Yeah, that's good. And I'll do the same for him. I'm gonna have him defend the party. And then I'm going to make him a protector. Barrack will focus on protecting the party. At the start of combat, he will use Blood Bond on an ally, maintain his phalanx stance, and attempt to get the attention of as many enemies as possible. If an ally is in danger, Barrack will attempt to use Defender's Charge to aid them. I like it. And then we have me. So the way I designed my character, basically, my character started at this campaign. Alright, let me shift things around. Let's form a more... There we go. We'll use this custom formation. Very nice. Show what you have to sell. And we're going to sell them some stuff. Things. Ho! Cha-cha-cha-cha. I want him to have this. Oh man, I can't trade for that though. Damn, damn, damn. Alright, you know what? I will not buy anything yet. Keep saving the muns. Speaking of the muns, it's Mun Bun, everybody! Yeah! Give a hearty hurrah to Mun Bun. What do you mean? I haven't heard from Commander Ironcore. It's been a full span since we heard of him. Last we heard, Master Radrick said keep an eye on the Northern Pass. He'd be coming through here. Fatebinder. It me. It Mun Bun. High quality. Speepy. Fatebinder Hein, am I right? I am Senvius, Commander and 3rd generation disfavored. Specifically, I'm Senvius the Younger, since some folks can't keep track. The rank says Commander, but lately I've just been organizing patrols and trying to stay out of the way. You should talk to the Iron Marshal. You have something official that needs discussing. What is it that you ask? I heard you asking, did the Earthshaker... Where are the reinforcements gone? Is there a problem? I'm afraid so. Radix, the head of the Earthshakers, was supposed to arrive with a group of his most competent spellslingers to help break the stalemate. I don't know what's holding up their arrival, but that worries me. If you're inclined to lend a hand, we could use some arcane support on our side. I could lend a hand. Could you? I knew that Tunon's agent wouldn't fail us in our time of need. I'll mark the last known site of our Earthshaker reinforcements on your map. Good hunting, Fatebinder. The two armies haven't worked well together in years. Why do you think that is? Come now, Binder. Seems like asking why beasts stink. The disfavored are only too eager to deliver Kairos' peace to the Tears, while the Scarlet Chorus bring only mayhem in their wake. You can tell me that the Voices in the Rat has a plan, and I'll take your word for it, but the Chorus seems to blunder around, never moving with purpose as we do. I wonder if we've been fighting the same war, soldier. I've seen Ash yank his precious soldiers away from more than a few battles than he's won. If you call that progress, be my guest. Unless we find a way to work as one, I fear the Scarlet Chorus will step in front of Graven Ash's strategies at every turn. As far as I'm concerned, it seems the Voice in the Rat is here to amuse himself, while the rest of us are here to do our job. Tell me about yourself. Not much to tell. My father was Senvius the Elder. His father was Senvius the first of his name. Lead drill master of Ash's first Iron Guard. Back when they were the Bronze Guard. I was born to the Legion. With any hope, I'll die in the Legion. The rest of you will hopefully hear about when the storytellers immortalize me. Seem proud of your parentage, or your pedigree. Thanks, but I try not to think about it too fondly. If anything, every time I screw up, I wish I wasn't dragging the family name through the mug with me. Farewell. Alright, so we have a new quest. Talk to this guy. Hail to you, guardian of the law. The man dressed in merchant finery greets you with a smile. If you have a few excess rings weighing you down, best unburden yourself before battle. Rings are the currency of this game. It's very interesting. If you know of the disfavored suffering merchant in their camp, the man must be worth selling. He must be selling only the finest provisions and armaments. Lawbreaker. Might I take a closer look at one of these crates? Standard inspection protocol. He hesitates, then he corrects with a welcome smile. Of course, by all means, I have nothing to hide. He makes a show of removing a crate's lid and showing off his wares from the open palm. His suppliers are perfectly ordinary. You see nothing out of place or unauthorized by his license. Let's try to steal something. You lean down and inspect the merchant's wares and spot a few rings that must have fallen to the bottom of the crate. As you shift supplies aside, you make the point of palming a few coins, confident they won't be missed. Shh. Merchant pretends not to observe your action, but a momentary flash of disappointment is evident in his eyes. See if you find something you like. Yeah, let's see if there's something that I like. I may give this guy a more accuracy, less armor penetration. Nothing here seems worth my while, actually. So adios, muchacho. I robbed him. Like an asshole. Let's speak with our good friend Verse, shall we? How'd you do that? Verse looks at you with a quizzical expression. Do what? Back in the Archon's tank, you cast an edict as casually as reading a supply shipment. How'd you do that? Well, I've done it before. Don't I look stupid? You were the one who cast the Edict of Storms on Stalwart, weren't you? Yes, I was the one who caused Barrack to be stuck in the state that he is. The one that tore the battlefield apart with a cyclone of Kyros's anger. That was me, alright. Well, call me impressed, considering that you've read the words of Kyros more than once. I'm surprised that you're even alive to tell of it. Your vocal cords should have turned to ash by now. I'm not trying to make you feel uncomfortable, it's just worth recognizing that what you've done. Not only are you Tunon's Fatebinder, you're the mouthpiece of the Overlord! Now it's food time. Okay. See you when you come back. Gives me plenty of reason to stick around. You're going places and I want to see where they lead. You say so. I have some questions for you.
What do you need?
Tell me about yourself.
Yeah, if you insist. I'm a Scarlet Fury. That should raise some flags for you. It means that I'm good at killing, and more importantly, that I enjoy it.
Yay.
What I won't enjoy are the pleasures of funerary rites packed with weeping mourners. Someday I'll fall in battle, and then they'll roll me into a mass grave or heap me atop a shit-stained wagon. One more anonymous, knife-riddled piece of meat. Until then, I plan to take whatever I can from life and have a little fun along the way.
Tell me what's your life before the chorus. Life? What life? As far as I'm concerned, I didn't exist before the chorus. There was some girl on a farm wearing my face and talking my voice, but she wasn't me. Sometimes she would sneak out at night, take a scythe, and have some fun with the livestock. Our shared interests began and ended there. When the Scarlet Chorus swept through my village on their long trek from the Bastard City, that's when I finally woke up. I buried my old life, took red vengeance on anyone who'd wronged me, and found the freedom that I could only dream of there. What of your parents? My mother ran a successful farm, and I worked it for a number of years before I found the chorus. She was a hard, bitter woman, acting like the world owed her something. She never talked about my father, though I figured out a thing or two about him later on. He was a merchant from the Northern Empire, took a liking to her, and him. She stayed around only long enough to get what he wanted. Rude. But never mind him. My mother never had what you called taste, so he couldn't have been terribly influential to me if he did stick around. You ever wish you could do things over? End up somewhere else than Kyros's army? That's as naive questions I've ever heard. Kyros is everywhere. If you aren't in the Overlord's army, you're being trampled by it. Of course, I could have labored on the family farm into my maturing years, married some dolt, and labored him a nursery of squealing piglets, having my body torn to pieces by Younger versions of me sounds like fun. Please. Then one day, when I decided enough was enough, I'd slit my husband's throat over breakfast, then run off to join the chorus anyway. My way saved a lot of time. You're a killer, better stick with the chorus. At least you understand. The chorus praises and rewards the thing inside of me that I would suppress in civilized company. Life is too short to repress every desire, right? Especially if I have anything to say about it. How'd you get conscripted? How did I? I think you got me wrong. The chorus didn't take me as a subbing maiden. I strode into their camp and enlisted. Someone tossed me a dented blade. I lived through initiation and spent a week butchering my neighbors and moved on with my new kin. Didn't waste time with goodbyes. My mother had long since died, and the rest of my family were louses. The girl I used to be, even she knew that she was worth more than the rest of all of them combined. What's the difference about your feathers? We're getting awful chummy, so I guess you deserve a story. My mother kept a messenger bird, Witterbeak. He was an angry old bastard, spoiled from living the high life, squawked in my window every single night, pecked my fingers while I fed him only the fattest, juiciest mice. When I left the farm to join the Scarlet Chorus, I wrung that ungrateful little fucker like a dish rag, plucked his feathers, and gave his carcass to the mice. It felt like justice. I also like how the feathers catch the breeze. It helps me keep my balance, especially when I'm moving fast. Cute. Tell me about your time with the Scarlet Chorus.
The Scarlet Chorus is mostly for madmen and
Welcome back.
peasants with rusty daggers, but it's also a little niche of freedom that I never had. Once I survived training and met my Scarlet Fury sisters, I saw a different side of the howling mob.
Tell me about your trading.
For new recruits shoved to the front lines, training means surviving the first battle. Anything beyond that is for the fighters who show potential, whether as blade dancers or arcane madmen. There's nothing in the world like getting put through the paces as a Scarlet Fury. Every day is a test of your commitment and passion. Failure means death. The first few weeks were the hardest, but also the most rewarding. I earned my name, picked up some quality weapons, and met my sisters.
Tell me about the Scarlet Furies.
The elite fighters of the Scarlet Chorus. Your typical Horde recruit fights with a rusty spoon and a chip on his shoulder, but the Scarlet Furies are, well, different. We focus our madness. We coordinate, we kill, we dance. It's like art. Imagine a sculpture that twisted in weird, beautiful angles, and then gutted you too fast for you to realize what was happening.
Sounds wonderful.
It is, as I remind myself all the time. The most important day of my life was when the voices of Nerat recognized my potential and sent me to Scarlet Fury training.
You earned your name? If you think a simple farmer from the Tears would have named her child Verse, I suggest you visit my old village. Most of them were walking around with surnames like Barrel or Fish. Not the most creative bunch. Huh! Chorus takes your name anyway. Whoever you were before, you aren't that person anymore. Then you earn back a name through great deeds, usually murderous ones. That's why you see choirmen walking around with names like Stinkmouse or Face First. There's probably a good reason for it. The voice of Nerat gave me this name. When the Scarlet Chorus runs howling into battle, he doesn't hear war, he hears a symphony. And when I fight with a blade or bow, he told me that my music stands out louder than anyone else's and contains too many parts to be easily defined. When you least expect it, the Archon of Secrets can be downright charming. I'm not going to do that. Tell me about your weapon skills. When I was just a kid, it didn't take me long to realize I was a natural. I could pick up a rusty kitchen knife and skewer a rat from across the room. Scarlet Chorus gave me opportunities to further educate myself. My sisters were always a bit surprised about how quickly I took to different fighting styles. Back to my question about the Scarlet Chorus.
What do you need to know?
Before you hesitated when you brought up your fighting styles, why? Notice, did you? It's a matter that I'm not used to discussing, mostly because I don't know how. I mentioned before that I'm good at picking up different weapon styles and fighting techniques. The truth is, I'm better than good. I could flay a man so cleanly that I'd leave a single strip of skin behind. He wouldn't even need to be tied down. That was one of the things I discovered about myself when joining the Scarlet Chorus. The voice of Nerat recognized it in me as well. That's why he singled me out for Scarlet Fury training. Have you tried that flaying trick before? Let's just say we run out of canvas for pitching tents and the fifth eye handed me a knife and pointed me to the prison pens. She winks. Spicy. My sisters were the master of their fighting force, but since they died, my style has changed, almost like I can kill as they can. When I pick up a bow, a lance, anything really, I could tear someone to pieces with a weapon that I only watched my sisters use. I don't know what it could mean, and that worries me. Who are your sisters? Who were they, more appropriate? Three Whispers, Red Geyser, and Seeking Sheath, best fighters I've ever met. There wasn't a foe that we couldn't take down. Our fighting styles complemented so perfectly that we divided up the killing work like bards sharing a song. At least we used to. Oh my god, there's so much like backstory to this. I'll be right back. I'm gonna grab something to drink. Alright, now I'm back. Hello. Hello, everybody. Tell me about... you know what? Farewell. Oh, we'll continue more later on. Let's look at the map. Hey, some armor. Nice. Pretty sure... Yes, I got everything at the camp. Alright, we're going to travel back to, and then we're gonna go to the Scarlet Chorus camp after we go to Eggering Ruins. There's something there that I need to grab. Your path is blocked by a small group of the Venusian guards. You go no further until you deal with them. Ambush, huh? Time for fights. Time for mocha. Hello there.
That's far enough, Fatebinder.
Hello, Ebb. A woman's voice booms from atop a nearby outcropping. Flashes of aquamarine body paint. Ah! Well. She is of the School of Tides. Flanked by either side of the warrior dressed in Vendry Guard regalia, the woman leans on an elaborate bladed staff pulsating with arcane energy, a swath of blue fabric. Rest over her arm is a symbol of diplomacy and truce recognized across the world and is custom for tiersmen. Hold dear to harm another person in the auspice of... Okay.
In accordance with ancient customs north and south, I offer and request a delay of blade. There are matters we must discuss without fear of reprisal.
In accordance with ancient customs north and south, I abide by this truce.
As is our custom, we are ready to kill to defend our lands, but we kill only in fair battle. We don't slay our prisoners. We know this isn't Kairos's way, but we must have hope. A few of my kin have gone missing, and though they may have perished, I have to inquire on the off chance they still live. If Captain Tarkus Deimos still lives, we would negotiate for his release.
I am not going to... Tunon gain very major wrath. Why would I upset Tunon? Tarkus Deimos is dead.
I see. That is as I feared, but thank you for telling me all the same. I prefer closure to wishful thinking.
Of course, Eb.
If I may make one more inquiry. What of Palox Tyrell? Did he survive?
Though you rarely have the luxury of matching names to the countless Tyrmans you've encountered, you're reasonably certain she is asking about the Vendrian Guard warrior that took Drastus hostage at the Evening Ruins. He did not survive the counter. Let's see. Palox Tyrell is dead. She nodded slowly, saying nothing for a long moment.
My apologies, Fatebinder. I had a terrible feeling this errand was in vain from the start. I had no expectations that our friends could be saved, as I'm sure the time for swapping prisoners is long gone. But at least I know of what became of them. That'll have to be enough.
Sorry you did not find what you were seeking, or we're through. Leave while you still can. The average fear of Vendrian Guard gains Revan Wrath. We're through here. Leave while you still can.
Then I will take no more of your time. Apologies. We will depart at once.
Barrack's like saying, in my face. You make out the faintest outline of a soldier's arm peeking out from this pond. Hey, someone's on this rock. Azure Bell and some flour? Or Vagrant's Claw. Oh, some more healing stuff. So there's something here. I don't see it.